All right, is the dealer always right? I'm not talking about used car dealers or new car dealers where you're buying the cars. I'm talking about the service department today. Are the dealers always right? If you're new, my name is McNeil and I'm the owner of Louison Auto. And the reason I'm asking this question is, for those of you who don't know, we run a 4-bay automotive repair shop in Toronto, 1295 Weston Road, Toronto's garage. So I see a lot of guys come from the franchise stores. When I say dealers, I'm talking about Toyota, GMC, Ram, I don't know, whatever the manufacturer is. And sometimes guys go over there for the diagnostic, and then they bring the diagnostic to us, and then we do the repairs a little bit more affordable, because some of those dealer rates are like $175, $145. Some could be north of $200 an hour. We charge $118 an hour, so we can do it a little bit more affordable, even if it's the exact same job. So there's a lot of rant and a lot of blah 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 going on here. Let me get to the facts and get to like two specific examples that happened very recently. So there's a customer who came in to our shop with a Honda. So which means they actually came from a Honda dealership for the diagnostic. He had the diagnostic from the Honda dealer, and the dealer told him that he needed a fuel pump. We offered, as always, for a job such as that, to basically diagnose the vehicle ourselves. So if you like, we can charge you for the diagnostics. We can look into it, and we can tell if you actually need the pump or not, or what do you need. They trusted the Honda dealer, say, hey, the dealer said I need a pump, I need a pump, and I already bought the pump. Can you install the pump? I said, okay. Install the pump, put the pump in, and when we're doing the pump, I checked everything, tried to clear the codes, and I'm realizing that the codes that he have on that car had nothing to do with the pump. But I did my job. I put the pump in, and I'm almost certain he will come back. And when he come back, it might be something as easy as a gas cap, or we'd have to do a smoke test to figure out exactly where that evap leak is. I'm not sure exactly where it is. He didn't pay me for diagnostic, but I have a very strong suspicion that he will be back, and it's not the fuel pump that was the problem. But the customer wanted me to change it. I did exactly what I was asked to do. This truck that I'm driving, I bought this truck with a disclosure from the dealer. It was not an auction purchase. I bought it directly from another dealer who had it, who basically said to me very honestly that the vehicle needed the differential, red differential. That's what he thought it needed. He's an independent dealer. Since I'm saying a lot of dealer and used dealer, I want you to be clear and understand. He's an independent dealer like me. He just sells cars. But he took it to a franchise store, which now would mean Ram dealership, and their diagnostic to him was that he needs a red diff. So based on their truth, he sold it to me, saying that I need a red diff. Good for me. I got a good deal on the truck. Took it to my technicians. We diagnosed it ourselves, and my tech figured out that there were some broken wires on the diff. So I guess this diff do have some electrical component to it. It's the Rebel, so it's not the regular Ram diffs. It has some electrical components. Some wires were broken. We replaced the wire, drove it home, drove it back. The lights still haven't come back on yet, and the car drives well. So I believe we'll solve the problem with a wiring issue. Just so you know, the differential for that vehicle is over $8,500 for the dealer. So they would love if it needed a fucking diff. So that's two dealerships already I got, Honda and Ram. Let me just top it up with Nissan. I had a customer who came in because she hit a curb, she hit something, and the tie rod end was really bad, but it damaged the inner tie rod end, and it had way too much play. We had to change the entire rack and pinion. It's a Nissan vehicle, like I mentioned. The rack and pinion was electronic electronic rack and steering, because it was a 2022 or 2020. It was a newer model, so it had a fancy electric rack and pinion. So basically, the customer came in, we did the job. I called the records to get a used one, because while we put a new one on the car, it costs thousands of dollars for a new rack and pinion, new one. And they didn't even have it in stock at the dealer. It was like a back order item. So I got a used one from the wreckers, put it in the car, and for the love of God, the car would not start after we put the rack in. Why? Because the rack and pinion has a module on it that basically supposed to be tied to the car it comes out of. They make everything electronic now, and it makes it so complicated to fix cars and use used parts, because they want you to buy original parts from the dealer only. So the thing would not start because it was thinking, I guess, somebody's trying to steal the car, and it would not allow that rack and pinion to work with the car that we're changing it on. Call the dealer, trying to see if they could put a bypass on, if they could clear the code for us, or we have the VIN number from the car we bought the rack and pinion from, and the VIN number for the car that it's in, showing that it's not a stolen part, is the actual part. So I get it if you have some anti-theft things there, but if I can prove that it was not stolen, like radios have those bypass all the time. I say where I bought the radio from, blah blah blah, they can unlock the radio. They said they can't unlock the rack. It needs to be well, obviously they had me tow it to them first before they said that to me. I towed it to the dealer, they said they'll look at it for me. And then I was told that they cannot unlock the rack. I have to buy an original rack, because the rack needs to be a virgin rack, and then they can download the software from my car onto the virgin rack and then put it onto the car. That was the long BS story that I got. It was going to be very expensive for my client. It wasn't me going to pay the bill, but it would be like thousands of dollars to get that done. So I didn't want to do that. I'm like, no, there must be a better way. So I have this mobile electrical guy that I contacted. They're super busy, so I'll tell you one thing, because they are so busy, don't ask me for a recommendation, because I'm not going to recommend him. The reason is because those electrical guys are so busy that they are unpredictable. I waited at least 2 weeks for him to show up at that Nissan dealership to fix the problem for me. He did fix it for me. That was really awesome. But the point is, they're the kind of guys that have so many people calling them, they can never give you an accurate time. Like, I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. And I'm making those same lies of tomorrow to my client, and I look bad. But in the end, he came on in and was able to program the used rack that was already on the car for a few $100, and I was able to save my client thousands of dollars. So that was another Nissan dealership getting the diagnostic wrong again, or overselling you on something you don't need. So for all of you who keep taking your car to the manufacturer thinking that the manufacturer have better technicians or have better ways of fixing the car, that is not true. You're better off finding an independent guy like myself, a smaller shop, to fix your vehicles for you. They'll charge you a cheaper hourly rate. They'll be more honest because they're working for the actual name. If they're an independent store, so it's their brand, their name, their reputation on the line in that neighborhood, in that community. So I think you'll get some more honest work there. There are some benefits to the dealers in the sense where there are certain models that the manufacturer keep throwing a curveball at the independent shops, right? So there will be some new models where we don't have tools for yet, where they, like for example, even the RAM, my regular scanner, I got the big tablet scanners. There are certain functions from the RAM that my scanner cannot read, and I had to pay for a software from Silencious, which is the mother company of RAM. I had to pay them for that software just so I can get the codes for the car. So the independent shops constantly have to be paying the manufacturers for access to the software, but there's certain softwares that are way too expensive that we don't have access to. So yes, in those scenarios, you will have to go to the dealer, the franchise dealership, to get the proper diagnostic, or for them to use the right tools. But always get a second opinion on their diagnostic. You can bring the paperwork to an independent shop and say, hey, here's what the dealer said to me. What's your opinion on that? And then obviously your independent shop opinion is not free. They may be saving you money from that dealer. So be willing to pay the independent shop to assess the information for you. Both look at the car, because the diagnostic that the dealer gives is not going to be totally wrong. It's going to definitely be at least a guide for us to know where to start looking. So if you say, here's the diagnostic that the dealer gave me, what is your opinion on that? I'll pay your shop an hour for your time, because it will take time for me to figure it out my tech and maybe call for some parts or figure out if it's the right price or right diagnostic. So pay the shop an hour, let them review everything for you to know if you're getting a good price. That's my 2 cents. And I hope you guys learned something from that. If you did, give us a thumbs up, share this video so a lot of people can understand how our industry works. And if you like it, I'll make a lot more content like that for you. Thumbs up is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one.